Yeah, really important video for you now on state benefits and equity release. So we've got a lot of stuff going on this one. So I'm going to take my time with this video and give you a lot of information up on the screen for you as well. We're talking here about state benefits. Now the whole point behind this one here, let's just put the title up there for you, is when you're giving advice on equity release and ER, it's not emergency room, it's equity release. When you're giving advice on equity release, you really do have to be aware of the state benefits the customer, client might be entitled to and may not now get because you're advising on equity release. We're very careful with that to make sure that you don't stop them from receiving benefits as well. Now the reason, of course, is that many equity or many state benefits are means tested against income or capital. And with equity release, of course, that's what you're giving to the customer, aren't you? You're giving them a large lump sum or regular income over a period of time. And we really ought to refer the client to the DWP, the Department of Work and Pensions, who handle state benefits, if we think at all that any benefits they're receiving might be in jeopardy as well. Now the kind of benefits then that are affected for you, there's a couple of benefits here, let's just list them up here for you. There's a couple to talk about. First one is job seekers allowance. And the second one is income support. Income support. Put those over there for you so we know where they come from. Now, job seekers allowance probably isn't going to be a big deal when it comes to equity release, because equity is generally for people who've retired, but not always. I get that as well. But there is an element of means tested job seekers that might be affected by it. You need to look at that one as well. Income support, though, is a key one. Because if your income is between, your capital is between 6,000 and the number is 16,000, that's the important figures for you, and you may get tested on those numbers in the exam. So if you've got more than 16 grand of capital, you ain't going to get any income support, and you lose some of it if you've got capital. So if you haven't got any money, you're going to get it. If you do have money, you're not going to get it. So that's the first one, really, to take a look at those two areas as well. But they're not too important when it comes to equity release examination. The big one, though, is state pension. So let's squeeze this one over here for you, shall we? The state pension. And the state pension is something that most of your customers are going to be receiving because by the nature of equity release, they're retired. Now, don't get me wrong, state pension isn't affected by this because it's a national insurance regulated benefit you're going to get. It doesn't matter how rich you are, you're going to get the state pension. But the one that is to think about here is the state pension credit, which by its nature is in addition to the basic state pension. Now, just to pick up on some of the rules here, we know by around about 2020, the ages of retirement are going to be 66 for both male and female. It's been along the way there as well. Now the whole point behind the state pension credit is it tops up. There you go. It tops up your basic state pension to a minimum amount. You need to check the figures. There's a minimum amount, and it tops it up. So it's a good thing, isn't it? And there's two parts to it. There's two parts to the state pension credit. So let's put that in there for you, that you need to be aware of. Now the first part is the guaranteed element. Let's put that in there for you, the guaranteed element. Now by its nature, of course, that's guaranteed. So there's no deal there, they're not going to lose this, this is the guaranteed one. But the one that we're concerned about now is what's called the savings element. There you go. That's the one that's going to be affected by equity release. So what is a savings element then? Well, pretty much what happens here, and it's not for everybody, by the way. It's only from 2016 before that, and you have to be over 65 to get it. So it's not something that everybody's getting and they're phasing it out. But what it does in a sense is it rewards people who've got savings. Now you might think that's a bit odd. If you've got savings, then fine, that's your own choice. But it actually gives you extra money if you've got savings. And it's trying to make your life a lot easier. That's the whole point. I'll give you an example for it at the moment. So you have to get your head around that. And the numbers are, let's get a different colour pen down. There you go, a multicoloured effect going there. The numbers here for you is that for every £1, this is a savings thing here, for every £1 that you have in savings, your income exceeds the threshold, you get 60% in a credit. 60 pence, actually, not percent. The maximum is £15 a week. So it's not a huge amount of money, but it adds up. What's that, 30, 60 odd quid a month, which shouldn't be worried about. Now the first £10,000 is ignored. So most people have got, like a rainy day money, that sort of thing. First 10 grand's ignored. And then a pound, there you go, for each £500 saved. So that's the rule that comes in. I'll give you an example of this in a second. You've got to be careful about this one because obviously you can lose this along the way as well. So I'll give you an example. So different kind of pen over here, e.g. Let's just say we had somebody on £120 state pension, which is rather nice, isn't it? And they've got, say, £30 private pension. So that gives you 150 quid, which is all right, isn't it? Now, they exceed the threshold by £9.30. Which gives them £5.40 a week, which is your 60p, isn't it? That's an example for you how it works. I won't worry too much about the numbers and how it's done. For the exam, you'll be wanting to think about the £10,000 that's ignored. You see that coming in. The two parts to the state pension credit, you'll need to know that part 1 and part 2. What they are basically as well. You'll need to know that the savings element rewards people who have savings. For every pound of income that you exceed the threshold, you're going to get 60 pence in credit, which is this bit here we just talked about. An example of that's given here. We've exceeded the threshold by £9.30, so they're going to get £5.40, which is 60p effectively, as a pensions savings credit. Now equity release of course comes into it because it produces a lump sum or an income will affect the amount of pensions credit, so you need to look at that area with your customers as well. So that's some state pension benefits that are affected. I'll go on to a few more for you and maybe get a little bit more space on this whiteboard as we go through. Let's get a different colour pen here. Another one for you, and we'll squeeze this one over here for you, is council tax. Now, people pay council tax. If you own a property, rent a property, you have to pay council tax. We know that, most of us do so. Now, the council tax reduction, as it's known, is a benefit for people that need it. And effectively what it does is it can reduce your council tax if you're on a low income. And it can reduce it by up to 100%. Which is, gone. It's just don't pay it. And the whole point here is each local authority has their own rules for this. They determine how it works, which of course they should do, shouldn't they, really think about it. And if you're on a very low income, you could get completely off your council tax. Again, the problem here is if you advise on equity release and you start increasing their income, you could null and void this council tax reduction. They may end up paying council tax. And if it's a large pile of bricks, because council tax is based upon the value of the property, it's a large pile of bricks, you could be looking at sort of £200 per month you're making them pay on council tax, whereas previously they would have got that off. So you have to be careful with that one. In my opinion, that's a really big one, because that's going to affect their outgoings and income considerably. The equity release is beneficial, but you're going to affect all these benefits, aren't you, along the way? So that's some of them. Got some more state benefits that are affected, and we'll come back to that one on part 2. See you shortly. Bye.